the bat cave, and we got a leak in the washing machine. This is going to be, I believe this is GE, and this is a GE Whiskey, Lima Whiskey 3400. I don't know if you can see that, but that's what model it is. So the first thing we're going to do is we're going to take off this back panel, these screws that hold on this kind of stiff cardboard wood corrugated board stuff. Just to give you a view, here's the connections. On the right side, it's going to be your water vent, and there are the hot and cold water supplies with the electric power supply coming out the top right as you face it, the top left as it faces me. But just to give you a brief view, this is what you're going to look at underneath. So I've been in here before, as you can see, and most of the actual bulk consists of really only two components, which will be the motor right here and the counterweight, which is right here. That's pretty much the bulk of this thing. It doesn't weigh that much. It's just awkward to maneuver. I would estimate it's just pushing around maybe 60, 65 pounds. And I'm going to stop this video, pause this video here, and get off this back panel. And I'll get back to you at what size this is for these screws. Yeah, just checked it. Told you I'd get back to you. Take these screws off right here, and this is just use this is 5/16. 5/16. Take them all off to expose that back, and then I'll get back to you after we try to locate where this thing rusted through in this drum. Alright, we're back again, and we have the back off. And I'm letting you see the inside of this now. Luckily this time around, I've gotten a break at this. I'm going to try to illuminate what's going on with the light. First was a previous repair. And this previous repair required me pretty much to remove the pump and then replace all the hoses, which wasn't a bad task, except it was difficult getting this universal coupler connected again. That game pretty much gave me a hard time, and it has to be balanced. There's nothing you can do about it. It just seems that mine just worked its way, and based on its own design, self-balanced. It's pretty good. It's amazing that you have the drum for this washer, failing before these components, which suffer a significant amount of stress, and they're still in great condition. This time around, it appears that this repair is going to be simpler, easier to say, less great words, but it seems like the issue is readily accessible. This washer's on its way out because you're beginning to see rust in more than one area. This drum isn't going to be worth replacing. Where the issue lies is right there. And again, you can see another repair that I've done. And this repair is pretty much primarily designed just to get this thing through the winter, where I can haul it out and switch it out, because I believe it's done at this part. What I'm going to do is clean everything up with a Dremel. That's this guy right here. On it, I've got a wire bit. And here's another great thing that came off Amazon. They say it's $100 worth of pieces, and it was $130 worth of pieces. It was far less than that. That wire brush didn't come with this kit, but I'm just giving it a good word because it's come in handy on more than one occasion with a lot of other things. Okay, so I'm gonna again go through looking at this drum and make sure that there are no other spots. The plan is to do what I've done before, is to use probably the best epoxy around for this thing, which is Loctite's metal and concrete. And I'm going to use what I have left from the last repair, which I'm probably going to have to dig out of the tubes. But it's about a 6 to 10 minute epoxy. And when it gets on raw metal, I haven't found anything better than Loctite's wooden concrete. This is strong stuff. So you pretty much have to make sure you got it right the first time around, because once it hardens up, it becomes part of the machinery for the most part. As you can see with in this circumstance, here's one of the previous repairs has rusted through. Again, you can't get to the other side of the drum, and I'm not going that far with this because I'm also worried about that main gasket being compromised. And at this point, this model parts are slim and few in between, and it's just at the point not worth the effort. I did look it up to see if I can get another one, and I couldn't find the part. Again, the location that I thought was going to be where it was seems to be the work of a hole in progress, and I'm going to bond that up anyway just to be sure. But at this point, looking at this, I'm pretty certain that right here is the culprit. I'll try to get you some light on it. And as I said, at this point, the repair is just to get it through to the spring and then switch this bad boy out. But as you can see, I can get to the bottom and seal it up, but to prevent that oxidation, you got to get on the other side, and that's probably what happened here. But I'm going to bond this up, and I'm pretty sure this washer will last me until I decide to change it, and I'm ready to do that, rather than it telling me what to do based on its rusty defects. And I'm going to clean it up and show you just with the Dremel. This is how you identify where it is. The Dremel cleans it up nice. Now I'll show you right where it is. And I'm going to pull this hose off, really get in there and clean up to where that hole that I can readily see is. And epoxy that bad boy up and move on from there. Get back to this. Just a quick note since I'm doing this. To get this hose off here, you just constrict this clamp. I'm using channel lock, and then just slide it back off the hose and then work this bad boy off from here. And just figured I'd show you that one little piece, but I imagine everybody, you can work this one out on your own. I'm going to get this off and clean this up, and then we'll hit it with whatever I can salvage from the epoxy. I'm going to try to give you a nice view now, and then with the hoses off. Yeah, that's the problem. You can see once the bad enamel, or whatever the case may be, pretty much ruined it. But when you get that water coming on the floor, that's probably what the issue is, if it's not a gasket down in here. And there's the other one, which is, as I said, is a hole in progress. I don't know if you can see that. But there's a hole in progress, and I cleaned that off, and I'm just going to put a little epoxy on that anyway. But I'm pretty certain at this point, there's the problem right there. Hopefully you guys can see this. I'm at the point right now, I just whipped up the epoxy, mixed it up. It's a 2-part epoxy, 50-50. It sets up very quickly, so once you see the gray and the yellow have reached a consistent color, begin applying this stuff, because it sets up very quickly. And use it all. You don't want to leave anything. Also, hit the holes that you think may be the problem, just in case. You're in here now. You don't want to have to get back in here again. So use every little bit of what you mixed up, and everything that looks like it might be a problem, epoxy it. And you can't go wrong. But again, it's amazing. Like, look at these rubber components underneath here. have held the test of time. And I tell you, I dogged this thing. It gets a lot of work, but these rubber components held up. And, God bless the manufacturer on this. But the simplest part, just the drum, is the part that's failing. Again, as I said, this is just to get me through to the spring when I switch this out. Unfortunate. Can't get these parts again. I don't know if it's worth it. But yeah, there it is. Hopefully this is helpful, and hopefully I solved the problem. This is the second time around for this bad boy, and the first repair I thought was going to last me until another component failed, at which point that would have been the switch. But fate raised its ugly head, and it oxidized through again where the enamel was already compromised. So it did it to me again, pretty much in the same spots that were the problem before. This machine is on its last legs, but I'd have to say, the manufacturer's credit, this thing has far exceeded my expectations. So, and that's all I got for this, and hopefully that'll be it. And next stop for this guy is going to be the recycling of the dumpster, unfortunately. But here's just another view so you can see if you got to get into your machine for whatever you want to give it a shot, extend the life a little bit. You'll see that for the amazing job it does, it's still not that complicated, to switch out parts. But again, my compliments to the designers on this. They've done fairly well. All right, that's all I got.